Hey, what's up guys? Thomas Roger here. Today, in today's video is episode 3 of the Road to Subtract, and there is plenty of things to talk about this episode of the Road to Subtract. And also, spoiler warning, in this episode, Ed played 8 songs, potentially of Subtract, on Tuesday night at Union Chapel Church in London. And if you do not want to be spoiled by these 8 song names, please click up the video, and if you don't want to be spoiled, and wait until Ed officially announced the track list of Subtracts, please click up the video, and if you guys want to stay tuned to, I think most of you guys already know the song names of the potential Subtract songs that Ed played on Tuesday night, and let's get straight in with the video. So guys, that I just said, Ed sang 8 new songs at Union Chapel Church in London on Tuesday night, a small intimate show in London about mental health, a one night only, which was, well, I wasn't personally there, but it looked amazing at the church, and he said his new album, Subtract, well, it didn't specifically say Subtract, but his new album to come out next year. Some of the songs were really emotional. Nothing was videoed or recorded because no one was allowed to film in there. I do think it was filmed professionally, but no one was allowed to film with the phones or take photos because it was so, secretive, private. It was emotional. I've heard a song or multiple songs for Ed's best friend Jamal Edwards, who sadly died earlier this year in February. There's a song or multiple songs he sang about him on Tuesday night as well. And people were really, really emotional that night because people were saying you can tell that Ed put his heart and soul into these songs. Which is going to be an emotional roller coaster when it comes to Subtract, when it eventually releases. So shout out to Zoe Jane 78 on Instagram. She said about his album with the songs that Ed played Tuesday night are going to be on the album that it's going to release next year. And she also said look out for the songs Love In, Love Out, and No Strings. Potentially the first singles from Subtract, I'm saying. Look out for the songs Love In, Love Out, and No Strings. I think potentially the first singles, Ed could do the same thing that he did with Castle on Hill and Shape of You release 2 singles on one day, pretty much. And I got a little theory. So maybe potentially these 2 songs could potentially come out in December. Okay, sometime in December. And then Subtract comes out in February. That's just my theory, guys. That's just my theory. So the first 2 singles of Subtract, Love In, Love Out, and No Strings, December. Subtract comes out in February. Nothing's confirmed, guys. Of course, nothing's confirmed. Just me theorizing and speculating, like always, guys. Love In, Love Out, and No Strings. I don't know. just from what people said from that night. That's all from people what we're saying. Also, credits to Drunk Snowflake on Twitter for providing the information of all the songs that Ed performed Tuesday night. And Are you guys ready, guys? Are you guys ready? So this is where I said at the beginning of the video. Spoiler alert. And if you guys did not know about these 8 song names, be prepared right now. Let's go. So the potential Subtract songs that Ed played are: Ed sung a song called Boats, Saltwater, Dancing With My Eyes Closed, Sycamore, The End of Youth. The person said Lovin' and Out, or Lovin' Love Out. Not sure what the song name is there. It's either Lovin' and Out or Lovin' Love Out. No Strings, and also a song that's been in the works for almost 10 years. It was originally meant to be on Multiply. You ready, guys? So, The Hills of Alberfeldy. Yes, guys, it was literally on the track list of Nine Nights and 9 Days, the MTV documentary back in 2014, where Ed was preparing himself to release Multiply. It was literally on that track list on Ed's laptop. Yes, guys, the Hills of Alberfeldy. Some more information on that song. So yeah, this tweet here. So maybe potentially Ed wrote it on the 14th of November 2012. Ed's writing songs and in the Hills of Alberfeldy, sorry. Yeah, also it's apparently really, really folky, such a folky song which fits perfectly on Subtracks in my opinion. And also, I believe the song is about having a holiday in Alberfeldy and written with Foy Vance, you know, Guiding Light. Guiding Light. I do think it could be about, like, sounding like Guiding Light a little bit. But yeah, about hills and castles and I don't know. Shout outs to Donovan on the Reddit on the Ed Sheeran subreddit. You know, he literally wrote did a massive Subtracks post on Reddit, and yeah, he actually mentioned about the Hills of Alberfeldy on his post, and he mentioned a tweet and an article, and then written with Foy Vance as well. Yes. Thank you, Donovan, for putting all that together, all the Subtracks information, maybe potentially more soon. And yeah, with the Road Subtracks episode 3 right here, yes. Also at that show, you know, on Tuesday night, the songs were that emotional. Fans cried and was so emotional. Even Ed cried and was so emotional because I was performing them songs for the first time with so many people in attendance, and then he only played them songs with only to a couple of people. Yeah, it's like only to a few people, and now with I believe not a few hundred people around, I'm not too sure, guys, in a church, up to 1,000, I'm not sure how many people were there, but yeah, yeah, so all them 8 songs are most likely potentially going to be on Subtracks, which is coming next year. I'm thinking February or March 2023, or even January, but I'm not entirely too sure, guys. Yeah, Subtracks. It's coming, guys, with those 8 songs, and it makes you wonder how many songs we're going to get on Subtracks, because Ed's already played 8 of those songs, and the people who weren't there do not know what they sound like. And only people who were at that venue knew what the song sounded like. But yeah, I do think there could be, I don't know, we already know potentially half the album's track listing. 8 songs, maybe potentially 16 songs, or maybe there could be about 20 songs. I'm not too sure, guys. I'm not too sure that we're going to get 2 versions of Subtracks, one with Italia on it, the second half of Subtracks. Well, so I think Subtracks is going to be very, very deep and emotional, of course, and then the second half of Subtracks is about, I don't know, lockdown life, new life, I don't know, guys, like Italia and other stuff as well. And then this half is about the one that we're getting early next year, emotional, deep album. And then the other Subtracks album, repackaged of Subtracks, I like to call it. He wrote in lockdown, pretty much, yeah. I'm not too sure, guys, I'm not too sure, but yeah, it's me just theorising and speculating like always. And back to the Hills of Alberfeldy, it's like that proof, like Ed literally wrote that song in November 2012, almost 10 years ago, guys, almost 10 years ago. And that actually proves that Ed's been working on Subtracks for a very, 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 very long time, for the past 10 or 11 years. Literally, ever since the first album Plus, that Ed wrote the Hills of Alberfeldy, that Ed wrote almost 10 years ago. Yeah. Which I cannot wait for, guys. And I wonder if we're going to get more unreleased songs from Multiply, potentially like Forever, Stranger. I like to call that song Falling for a Stranger, but Stranger. I don't think we're going to get Amsterdam, Sweet Mary Jane. I don't think we're going to get that song, guys, on Subtracks. Imagine. But most likely the Hills of Alberfeldy is going to be on Subtracks. coming early next year, racing with Foy Vance. And yeah, I cannot wait to hit all the songs and potentially cry to some of the songs, be emotional songs, because this is going to be lo-fi, acoustic, emotional album. You know, people cried at that venue on Tuesday night. Studio versions of Subtracks, like, this is going to be a masterpiece of an album. And you know, we've waited so long for Subtracks, and the wait is finally over for this album. Like, we was about to get Subtracks last year, but of course lockdown hit, and then coming out of lockdown, I decided to just replace the two, Equals and then Subtracks, and yeah, it will be worth the wait, and I know it, and I know it'll be well worth the wait of Subtracks coming early 2023. Potentially the first two singles, Love In Love Out and No Strings, could come before then. Yeah, and yeah, that's about it. This video, I think. Yeah, talked all about the Intimate Show. Yeah, we've talked about all the Intimate Show, the song names, and yeah, it's gonna be such an emotional album. You know, like on the song Shirt Sleeves, the first line, so teardrops that I wipe my shirt sleeve under your eyes, I still taste salt water. Literally, one of the song names that I played was called Saltwater. I still taste salt water. But I don't know if that's going to link to Shirt Sleeves. I'm not too sure, guys, from Multiply. We'll wait and see. We'll have to wait and see for all these songs. To hear the songs in their entirety, the studio versions of these songs, and I cannot wait, guys. I cannot wait for the Subtracks. It's going to be emotional. Some songs about a song or multiple songs and Subtracks to be about Jamal Edwards. Yeah, you know, it's literally covering the entirety of his career, it seems like, and then most of the album is going to be about at the start of this year, I think, and then some of the songs like Hills of Elberfeld, some of the songs from the entirety of its career. And yeah, and I love that concept where, yeah, you know, most of the album is going to be about early this year. But yeah, I do think the entire album is going to be dedicated to Jamal Edwards. Like Equals was dedicated to Michael Gudinski. Yeah, you know, yeah. We're just ending on an emotional bit of this video, and yeah. And if you guys enjoy this video of episode 3 of the Road to Subtracks, please like, comment, subscribe. And I think this has been the best Road to Subtracks video so far. We're talking about the potential songs of Subtracks, or 8 of the potential songs that I'd play Tuesday night. Yeah. And if you guys enjoyed this video, please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in another video. Peace.